You know, it's often talked about in the church among Christians that people who haven't come to the saving grace and knowledge of Jesus Christ, who haven't asked, invited Jesus Christ to be their personal Lord and Savior, that these people are lost. And if you grew up in the church, you grew up in that environment, around in the circle of people like that, and you've decided, due to a new revelation of convictions, that the teachings of the church are false, and you decided to go out and venture out, leave the confines of the church and that Christian community, and face the world head on. And you'll find that oftentimes, if you were placed and put in this kind of predicament, that there is definitely feelings of being lost. You definitely feel lost in the world, or lost in the wilderness, to put it more metaphorically. And so I understand more than ever the meaning of what Christians mean by saying people in the world, people who aren't saved by Jesus, are lost, because you definitely there's definitely an overwhelming feeling of that. But I've heard it put before by someone that being lost just means that you haven't made a decision, which is interesting, and it makes me question whether or not, since I do have that feeling of being lost, whether or not maybe I haven't really made a decision. And makes me wonder, maybe my mind is deteriorating and I'm losing some aspects of my rationality by actually entertaining the idea that maybe I could be wrong. I could be wrong about this. I could be on the destination straight to hell. And it's scary, and definitely makes me feel lost. There's a lot of uncertainty, ambiguity about all of this, and it's the antithesis of the opposite of thinking that you could have and know the ultimate truth. You can have ultimate knowledge of the meaning of life, and all that it takes is faith and hope. And if you give over to that faith and hope, then that's why they call Jesus Christ the Savior, because he is a Savior to people who have decided to give their lives over to a religion. And this is not just restrictive to Christianity. This could be applied to any religion. Once you decide that you want to give your life over to the religion, to the sheep, to the community, there is a sense and a feeling that you've been a huge weight has been, like the weight of the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and that there's a real feeling of salvation there. And it's no wonder why religion is so popular, and why it has it doesn't look like it's going to die out anytime soon, and that through hard times, it just grows, and through more prosperous times, it prosperous times, more prosperous times, it dwindles, because people don't feel the need for it as much when life is easy, and people feel a greater need for it when life is hard. And that's just the simple answer. So if the harder life is for you, the more tempting it'll be to hold a religious view. But the easier life is, then you won't feel the need for it as much. So is religion a crutch? Is religion strictly there to help the intellectually and emotionally lazy or weak? It might be taken a little too far. I think I take a postmodernist view, in the sense that I am not antagonistic towards people who have decided to trust their life in a religion and to devote their life to a particular faith. I more sympathize with them.